Today's notes are going to be section 3.1, parallel lines and transversals. Okay, here are our vocab words. We have parallel lines. I'm going to zoom in. Here's the symbol of how you write two lines that are parallel. We use those two lines, almost looks like the number 11. Okay, parallel lines are coplanar lines that do not intersect. So some examples would be railroad tracks, would be curbs on a street, would be lines on a sidewalk. These arrows right here tell us in the picture that those lines are parallel. If they don't have those arrows, we cannot say that it's parallel. Next, we have a vocab word that is new, probably, and that is skew lines. Lines that do not intersect and are not coplanar, not on the same plane. So let's give an example. Okay, these two lines, line L and line M, they are not parallel and they don't intersect. So those would be known as skew, and we're going to practice with that. And then parallel planes would be these two planes here. We have what's called plane A and plane B. Those two planes do not intersect. So we can have parallel lines and we can have parallel planes. So those are your first three vocab words there. Okay, so now we're going to practice. Name a segment skew to AB. Well, I need to find all lines that are not parallel and don't intersect. Okay, so here's AB. I'm going to write it in red. And then anything in skew, I'm going to write in blue. Okay, so let's take a look at DE. I'm going to use a different color. Blue is too hard to see. Let's use something brighter. Actually, we'll just use black. Okay, so DE is not parallel to AB, nor is it intersecting, so that's skew. Also skew is CH. Also skew, not parallel or intersecting, is FE. And the last one would be GH. So you could name any of those. I'm just going to name DE as one example. But those are your four answers. Okay, next question. Name all segments parallel to FE. Here's FE. Anything that is parallel to FE, that is in the same plane and two lines that don't cross. We have AD is parallel. We have GH. We have BC. Because if we drew this diagonal line here, that could be a diagonal plane. In other words, that could also be parallel. So I'm going to put AD as one answer. As usual, there's lots of answers, and you just need to find one. Lastly, name all planes parallel to plane DCH. Okay, so once again in red, plane DCH. Here's DCH. I don't want it curved. DCH, but it needs to be a square, right? We only need 3 letters for a plane. And really, there is only one plane that's parallel. And that plane, all I'm going to do is outline it with my pen here, and we're going to call it plane. We'll call it plane FAB, plane fab, because it's fabulous. All right. You could also name it plane bag, right? BAG, plane gab. Just being funny there. All right. So that's how we do those vocab words. All right, we're going to practice again. What I would recommend is doing these on your own, and then pausing the video, and then checking back for your answers later. Okay, 3 pairs of parallel planes. All right, so I'm going to do, here's one pair, top and bottom. So planes, I'm going to save room here, ABC and DEF. That's one pair. My next pair, oops, I didn't want to undo that one. I'll just erase. My next pair is these two. If you can see me highlighting those in black or outlining them in black. So it would be planes ABC, no, not planes ABC, A, D, E, and B, C, G. Okay, and actually I got to go back to this other one. This should be a G here, not a D. It should be GEF. This D is on the top corner. All right, and lastly, I am not going to write the word plane again. We got to talk about the 2 last planes we did not talk about. Are these 2. So basically all the sides of the cube will have plane ABF and plane CDE. Okay, name 3 segments parallel to CH. So let's highlight CH. That highlighter's not good. Parallel to CH. Here's my CH over here. Name 3 segments. Well, the segments I know of are going to be here, here, and here. So we're going to have DE, line AF, and line BD, line segment I should say. Alright, 2 segments parallel to JK. Here's JK. We have lots of segments parallel to that. The easiest ones would be here. We could also do back here and up here. So I'm just going to say AD, and I'm going to say FE. Name 2 pairs of skew segments. There's lots of different answers on here. Let's just start with AB. I'm going to find what's skew to AB, but you guys have lots of different answers. Okay? AB and DE. And then let me pick another pair. Let's go with FE and CH. There are a few other answers on there as well. But so that's how you find parallel and skew. All right, moving on. Transversal. I'm going to draw a transversal for you. First, I'm going to draw 2 parallel lines. Okay, and to show they're parallel, I draw this triangle. These don't have to be parallel. I just wanted to draw it. The transversal here, I'm going to draw in black. That black line is my transversal. It is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at two different points. Okay, so it's intersecting here and it's intersecting here. So we call that the transversal. All right, so that's a key word to know what that line is. Okay, this slide right here is going to be reference. It's got a lot of words. It's very busy. I'm actually going to use my next slide to explain all these vocabulary terms, but these highlighted words are important for you to know, and you need to know what they mean. Okay, what we're going to do here is we are going to call the consecutive interior, we're going to give them an optional name, that one right there, and the optional name for those is going to be same side interior. Okay, so consecutive interior is also known as same side interior. So it's up to you which one you want to use. I'm going to use same side interior, but whatever you're most comfortable with. Okay, so this is how I'm going to teach this. We're going to classify the relationship between each pair of angles as, here's our vocab, alternate interior. Let's use a better highlighter for that, a bigger one. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding same side interior. You guys are going to start hearing these every day. Hopefully you'll get really good at them. All right, so 3 and 7. This is how I would recommend doing these. I would draw this picture, and then, and your lines don't have to be the same as these lines, I would circle my two numbers. Now, which one is it? Well, first of all, I need to give you another vocab word that's up on the top. If I were to extend these lines forever, okay, we can see that we're going to call this the interior. It's inside the two transversals. So here are my two transversals that I highlighted. Anything inside of those, between those, is called the interior. And I abbreviated interior because you guys can abbreviate all you want. Then outside of those lines is known as the exterior. So you're going to want to label your picture. I'm going to erase these dotted lines just so it's not too messy. I'm going to keep, well, I meant to keep that highlighted. I'm going to keep that highlighted so that you can see exterior, interior. All right, so check this out. If we know it's interior, I have two numbers there. That means they're on the interior. So I have two choices of interior. I have alternate interior, or I have same side interior. We can look at these circles. Are they on the same side? No. They're on opposite sides. We can say they're alternating. So 3 and 7 are alternate, and I abbreviate all these. Alternate interior. And you guys will get really good at these hopefully down the road as we practice this. All right, circle 5 and 7. Now, here's the only one that's both an interior and an exterior angle. First of all, are they on the same side? The answer is yes, they are on the same side of the transversal. Okay, actually, I need to go back. Those highlighted lines there, those are not transversals. The transversal, I'm going to highlight in a different color. This green line is the transversal. So if they're on the same side of the transversal, they're either going to be same side interior, they're not going to be alternate, or they're going to be corresponding. And if they're both not on the interior, then we know that these are, sorry about that, then we know that these are corresponding. And that's how I abbreviate corresponding. So I don't take points off for spelling. Okay, let's cross those off. All right, now we're going to circle 4 and 8. Now, what do we notice? They are both exterior. Are they on the same side? No, there's no such thing as same side exterior. So we know that these are alternate exterior. Okay. Moving on. Of course, it erased all my beautiful lines here, which I'm going to put back on there. All right, lastly, 2 and 3. 2 and 3. We look at 2 and 3. Those are both on the interior, and they are on the same side of the transversal. So we call that same side interior. If you guys can learn how to find those in the picture, you're going to do awesome on this chapter. Okay, now is your turn to try. What I would suggest is pausing the video and seeing if you can solve these. So I'm highlighting my lines again, my transversals in this bright green highlighter. What you might want to do is label this exterior, exterior, and interior. Okay, so I'm going to circle 2 and 6. So they're on the same side, but they're not both interior. So I know that those are corresponding. Then 1 and 7. So let's circle 1 and let's circle 7. They are both exterior angles and they are alternating. They're opposite sides. So alternate exterior. Okay, let's go with 3 and 8. I circle 3, I circle 8. They are on the same side of the transversal of the green line, and they are both interior, inside. So I call those same side interior. All right. Doing a great job there. I keep erasing my wonderful highlights. Okay, last but not least, we have angle 5 and we have angle 3. They are both interior, but they're not on the same line. So I call those alternate interior. Okay, hopefully you guys did well on that section. All right, now we get to a challenging part. Just looking ahead here. I'm going to help you guys out with these. Okay, and then you're going to try the next one on your own. So I'm going to circle my angles. Angle 12 and angle 4. They only have to do with the lines they are touching. Here's my transversal. And here's the other two lines they touch. So I don't worry about line H at all. And now I see they're on the same side, but one's exterior and one is interior. So I call that corresponding. Okay, let's go to 1 and 7. Alright, I'm going to erase everything. Angle 1 and angle 7. Well, what line do they touch? They both touch this transversal, and then my other lines are here. We have nothing to do with line K. So I look at them, they are both exterior, they're both outside the blue lines, and they're alternating. So we know that as alternate exterior. Okay, erase that. Then we have 13 and 8. And I will highlight the lines that they are touching. I cannot use the lines that they are not touching because it doesn't matter. So now I don't use line G. Nothing to do on line G. I look at them. They are both interior and they're both on the same side. So we call it same side. Remember, this is also called consecutive interior. You'll see why in a couple lessons why we're going to name it same side interior. Last but not least, we have 16 and 10. I'm going to highlight my lines that it has to do with. I'm not going to highlight line J. They are both interior, but they're on opposite sides, so it's alternate interior. All right, moving to the last slide. This is a good one for you to pause and for you to try on your own to see how you're doing. Oh, never mind. You're not going to pause. Now we're going to identify the transversal. How do we identify the transversal? Like I said, it's what the two angles are touching. The one line that they're both touching. So I circle 12 and 4. What are 12 and 4 both touching? They're both touching line G. 1 and 7. We kind of already did this, but what line are they both touching? They are both touching line J. Now try the last two on your own, if you'd like to pause. We have 13 and 8. What are they both touching? Line H. And we have 16 and 10. What are they both touching? They are both touching line K. All right, that's it for today. Great work, everyone.